Hello and welcome to the podcast of the ANC Western Cape. And we thank you for watching the previous episodes. Uh, Today, we've got with us the leader of the Congress of South African Trade Unions in the Western Cape, one of our alliance partners, Comrade Malvern De Bruyn. He's the provincial secretary. He's going to tell us firstly. People have heard about COSATU unions. Can you tell us about what is COSATU? Who does COSATU represent? And what is the relationship with the African National Congress? Comrade Malvern, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Comrade Khalid. Yeah, I think everybody's quite familiar when they hear about COSATU. I think COSATU was established in the 80s. And currently, COSATU, and I think we've used the theme or the slogan that the ANC is the voice, is the choice of workers, but COSATU is the voice of workers. And I think that is still in the mindset of workers, although there are some issues that workers are not happy with. But currently, workers know that the ANC is the only home for the working class currently. And I think the history of the ANC and COSATU and within the alliance itself is a very beautiful history. And I think we should continue with that alliance processes, and also need to continue with the relationship, because although there's times that the relationship is not so perfect like we want it to be, but at least in any relationship there will be ups and downs, and that's how we see it as COSATU, that we'll have our issues because all of us are independent organizations, all of us got their own constitutions, we are only alliance partners, so we will differ from time to time. But if one looks from 1994 up until now, one could raise more than 10 examples of where the ANC delivered for the working class. We've got the best Labor Relations Act, we've got the best Employment Act to Act. There are so many laws, Skills Development Act, that the ANC brought to us. And I don't think any other party will be able to do that. So if we allow other party to take over this country, it will be a doomsday for the working class. All the gains that we've achieved over the last 29 years will be down the drain. So COSATU are very clear. The ANC is our only choice at this stage. We can't go into any other direction, although there are still challenges. But I think the challenges that we have currently, we will find a way to remedy it within the alliance structure. So it's not something that we say that can't be resolved. So we are quite confident come 2024. And even in our last CEC in July, we've made it very clear that we will give our support for the ANC once again. And our next CEC that takes place in November, next month, on the 20th, from the 18th to the 20th, and that meeting will just solidify our support for the ANC and come up with ideas, come up with strategies to make sure that we have a winning combination come 2024. So we are quite confident that we can and we will remain, the ANC will remain the choice of the working class nationally.
Thank you very much, Comrade Malvern, for that. You've spoken about some of the positives that the ANC has brought to the working class. Could you maybe give us maybe a couple of specific examples to specific sectors and industries that your unions within COSATU represent?
If one even looks at the national minimum wage, more than 6 million workers, even more than 6 million workers, are now benefiting through the national minimum wage, because there was a time that employers can just pay workers as they wish. Now we've got something in law that they can't go below that one, which is a positive side. You've seen the domestic worker, they were never covered when it comes to injury, IODs, when they got injured. You remember there's one year when a lady that worked on one employer's house, she fell in the pool. Up until today, that family was still struggling to get payment because they were not covered. And now they are covered in terms of law. The law now states that if you're employed in the domestic sector, the same law applies to you. You've got the best employment equity skills. You've got the best, the recent one there, the DA tried to subvert into a racist thing. And they failed because workers know that it's not what the ANC is saying. So we are very clear that those are some of the laws that we are very clear on, that the ANC brought to us. The LRA has been amended from time to time to suit the needs of the working class. And even if whatever law that is worker-friendly has been proposed in Parliament, the DA always oppose any law and then expect workers, then the same DA expect those workers to vote for them. And I think that should be one of our campaigns going forward, because there's not one labor law that the DA says that the DA supports. The DA is against the employment equity law, they are against the national minimum wage, they are against any law that benefits the working class. So how can we vote for such a devil?
You've mentioned, thank you very much. You've mentioned, Comrade Malvern, the fact that the ANC has obviously brought a lot of positive to the lives of workers. And we do know that there are unions or federations outside of COSATU who are critical. And also know COSATU has become a sweetheart federation for the ANC, and the unions are sweetheart federations. You just support the ANC, you are not critical. And if you're going to be critical, you are going to be out of the alliance. Can you maybe just tell us a bit about that? Because does the ANC, does your alliance with the ANC provide you and workers with a critical space to even raise when you are not happy and then push some improvements in that regard? Can you
Yeah,
take
and
us
I
through
think on
that?
that one, and I think the media or the records can prove that we are very critical when the ANC fails us. That we don't hide. And I can give you a simple example. Show me one organization in this country that have marched against our own government like COSATU. There's not a year that we march to Parliament, our own government as COSATU. So they can't say that we are student union of the ANC. We march to the ANC. We march against the issue of unemployment, retrenchments, protecting of SOEs, etc. So we are saying as COSATU, when we need to criticize, we criticize. We'll march, and the good thing about the ANC, when we march to Parliament, they will come and collect the memorandum. And at least there's engagement at the network level. And there's where we engage in all the issues which we are unhappy about. So the ANC is there for us. They listen to us. Although, and I can need to repeat it, we are not 100% happy with some of the laws that they've passed. And where we are not happy, you can hear our voices as COSATU.
And I think that's what makes the African National Congress a unique organization that's leading government, is we've got formations that are part and parcel of our alliance that are allowed to be critical. We don't find that in the dictatorial DAA in the Western Cape. You've spoken about the Western Cape, Comrade Malvern, and the fact that the DA who are governing the Western Cape at the national level are always opposing progressive legislation that are going to benefit workers. What is your message to workers in the Western Cape in particular as to why it's important for them to be part and parcel of dislodging the DA from power in the Western Cape? What does that mean for workers?
Yeah, if one looks at the Western Cape per se, one could see over the last couple of years, and I think the laws that governs workers, or that is in the bed, that is beneficial to workers, those laws are not the DA are opposing to it. So we are saying, how can we vote for a party that are not in favor of your well-being, that are not in favor of you promoting or going forward in life? So those are one of the issues. You can see even the DA, what the DA is trying to do in this particular province, although it's political, but it was quite clear that the DA wants a false start. And how can you allow that? How can you support a party that called our people refugees in your own country? It's just clear that they want a white false start, and they're not happy with the working class. So they made it very clear, even in this, even the Premier raised it more than one occasion, and the leadership, that our laws are too worker friendly. If they go into power, they will look into all the labor laws. So there's already indication that they want power to strip us of what we've achieved through the ANC. So a worker in the DAC, a worker in this province must see the real issues. And I think we need to maybe to take it a step further, look at the Palestine issue. Simple example. And my friend Tony Ray sent a letter I must forward you the letter that I've sent to the media, a direct letter to the Premier, because we say to the mayor that the mayor is not talking to the people of the Western Cape when it comes to Palestine. And COSATU got the same view. We are in support of the people of Palestine, but this province, this Premier, this mayor are not support of the people of Palestine. They will rather support an apartheid, brutal state that is killing our people on a daily basis. And we as workers are feeling this pain. Workers are feeling this pain because currently There's no people that were employed in those areas can't go to work. So it's people that are directly linked to us that are now affected by the massacre by the Israeli government and while they're supported by the DA in this province and nationally.
Most certainly. And the ANC, on the contrary, with its alliance, is fully in support and have always been in support. We are sitting here in the background. You've got President Oliver Tambo, who was a champion of the Palestinian struggle. So, very, very important message that you've ended off on to say that, because the DA, um, their support, would you agree in closing, Comrade Secretary, that the DA support for the apartheid state of Israel ties in with the fact that they are part and parcel of the broader global capitalist and imperialist project?
Yes, 100%. I fully agree. That's what they're doing, and they don't even hide it. They don't even hide it. For them, it's about capital. For them, it's not about the people on the ground. For them, it's not the working class people. For them, it's capital to empower themselves, to enslave the people of Palestine and all other countries that they support with the draconian measures.
There you've heard it. The message from the leader of the working class is very, very clear, that the African National Congress is the only alternative and vehicle for the working class in this particular province, and the DA is the enemy of the working class. Thank you very much.
Manta! Manta!